Hi, I'm C.C. Péan, and this is Reclaiming Your Health.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reclaiming Your Health. No, I have not grown like extra appendages. I have headsets or earbuds in tonight to try to help me to have better sound so you all can hear me better. So hopefully these won't go flying out. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We have a simple, sweet treat tonight for you all. So we are days away from it officially being summer, or what is summer? Is May 21st the first day of summer, or is it June? I don't know these things. Anyway, it's hot. And one of the things that people love to do when it's hot, they lighten up their meals quite often, and there's a lot of fruit eaten. Watermelon is in abundance, all kinds of melons, honeydew and cantaloupe and mangoes, mangoes. I grew up in a West Indian, West African home, and mango is something that whenever it's in the house, it's devoured. And so I was inspired to tweak a recipe I came across for a very simple 3 ingredient mango ice cream. Now, let me tell you, we're using mango in this preparation, but you could just as easily use strawberry if you wanted to, or blueberries, a mixture of berries. You could use just lemon or lime zest and make this, or and lemon juice. There's so many different ways that you could create this recipe, create this ice cream. You could even use passion fruit. You could use guava pulp. It's a very basic recipe of, what did I say? Of 3 ingredients. I don't know if this means that my air holes are too big or too small. But it's a very basic recipe. It takes probably about 10 minutes to make it, if that. So we'll probably end up early tonight. And you put it in the freezer. You don't even need an ice cream machine. None of that. It is so simple and so delicious. But key to this ice cream tasting delicious is ripe fruit. There is literally nothing worse than an unripe mango or unripe fruit at any for any matter in this preparation, because it just will not have the sweetness. Now, we are going to use some condensed coconut milk, which has some sweetness to it, but you still want the full flavor of fruit. And so in order to have that, it needs to be ripe. So when you choose your mangoes, make sure they give when you press. You don't want a hard mango, okay? Because it's going to be sour. You want your mango to be sweet. I might have to get rid of these things. All right, so I have 3 mangoes here. I'm going to cut up 2 of them, and one of them, I'm going to cut up 2 to puree them, and one of them I'm going to use a little bit as a garnish. But the key ingredients recipe are mangoes. You're going to use about a half cup of mango. It is this sweetened condensed coconut milk. You can see that, sweetened condensed coconut milk. And last but not least, dairy-free whipping cream. And I'm so excited about the fact that people that are vegan, people that are dairy-free now have these options, and they're able to enjoy these things that before were completely
It is amazing, and this is amazing as well. Now, This is an indulgence. And we've talked about this. Just because something is dairy-free, just because it's vegan, just because it is, plant-based, doesn't mean that you can just eat it and eat it and eat it until you pop. You still need to use moderation. Moderation is key. Okay? I've got something a little weird going on with my sound here. I apologize, folk. I need to get this together. Stan, can you help me out? My sound is, it's.
Okay. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to peel our mango. And I'm just going to use a paring knife. You can also use a vegetable peeler if you would like, but I'm going to use a paring knife and I'm just going to go gently around it, being careful not to cut off the actual flesh, but just getting the peel. This is a little difficult because the peel is
so close to the color of the flesh. You could probably end up taking off a little more than you want to. But I'm going to, so we're almost done with that one. And just take your time. Just take your time. And if you're a beginner, you probably would do better to use a vegetable peeler. A nice sharp one too. Okay. So we have peeled this mango. And I am going to cut like right along the seed. Typically, if you hold it vertically, you can just go right down the side and you'll get a good amount of flesh. So you see that? And depending on how much ice cream you're trying to make or the amount of mango flavor you want, that might suffice, or you might want to do a little more. And we're going to do a little more. And so we're just using this paring knife, gently going along the edges. You know what's also delicious? Has anyone ever had plantain ice cream? I know that might sound a little, but it's really, really good. Did you know that you can eat ripe plantain just like you would eat a banana? As long as it is yellow, you can eat it as you would, a banana. I'm just going to let that stay out. Yes, one of my favorite things to do is to eat a plantain like that. I have a good friend who told me that. I wasn't aware that you could actually eat plantain that was not fried or baked or broiled, but indeed you can. So you see how I'm putting it again on its side and just going right down and cutting the flesh. So I'm pretty sure these are sweet, but let me check. Those are delicious. Now, as I said, we are going to be adding a little sweetener by the way of the condensed coconut milk. So I'm just going to cut this up. You don't have to cut it up anyway because it's going in a blender. Okay, so if you have a Vitamix, if you have a bullet, just drop it in there. We are not adding any water to this. I have not made the plantain ice cream, Yolande, but I plan on doing it. I actually thought of doing it tonight in addition to this, but I said, nope. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do that, so let me just stick to mango. But I'm encouraging you all to try it. And I would love to hear what you think. So now I'm just going to puree this. Just that simple. And you see, I did not need any water. Okay. So here is the heavy lifting for this recipe. We're going to take our mango puree, about a half a cup, go right into our mixing bowl. We are going to use a half a cup of this condensed coconut milk. Something else that you could add to this, you could add some cardamom to this. You could add a little bit of cinnamon if you wanted to. I'm actually going to use some powdered ginger. Give it just a little buzz, little zip to it. And the last thing, actually I'm going to put the cream in and then I'm going to put the ginger. I'm using a cup. You see how thick this is. That's going to go right in the bowl. And I'm going to use some of my powdered ginger. Yes, you could also add mint. Absolutely. I actually have some mint that I'm going to use for garnish. So we're sprinkling some of this ginger powder. And you know what? Because Yolande suggested it, let's go ahead and put some mint into our mixture. You know, it's interesting. Mint is something that I wasn't too excited about as a child, but now I really like it. I was the same way about parsley. You know, I'm a child of the 70s and 80s, and I grew up when parsley was that big piece of foliage that was on a plate whenever you went out to a nice dinner. So you never ate parsley. It was simply a garnish. Now we are in the age of a garnish that is actually edible and encouraged. So we've got some minced mint that's going to go in there. So we have a couple of questions this evening. Our first question is, what is the most common variety of mango found in the American market? What is the most common variety found in the American market? So now what I'm going to do, we're just going to blend this up. Oops. Blending this up. You just want to make sure that it is well mixed, evenly incorporated. If this were real dairy, we would want to whip this until it peaks. Till you have peaks, it's stiffened. But it's only going to stiffen so much, but that's okay because this is going to go into the freezer. Okay, So this is well mixed. And since I'm greedy, I'm just gonna taste it for flavor. Delicious. And Yolande, that mint is a perfect addition. You know what I'm gonna do to take it up a notch? I'm just gonna put some lime zest in there too. I love lime zest. Make sure that mixes up. And then our next step is to put it in a shallow dish. Something where you can pour it in easily and scoop it out easily. You don't want it to be too small because you don't want it to be hard to scoop out. And you don't want it to be too big because then you won't get a nice scoop when it cools, when it freezes actually. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the freezer until it gets hard, and that's about 4 hours actually. No, Filipino mango is not the answer. So I made this earlier today, and this is what it's gonna look like when it's finished. Yes, Yolande, you are correct. Mexican mango is the most popular mango variety found in American markets. And so my next question is, which mango is considered the pearl of the mango family? Which mango is lauded as the sweetest, the most delicious, the crown jewel in the mango world? There's a particular country, and if anybody from that country is watching this, I'm sure they're gonna tell me what that is. There's a storm outside my window, folk. Lightning. Okay, so we are ready to plate. Oops, no, we're not. I gotta get this mango together because we're gonna do some chunks of mango on this. We're gonna just garnish it with a lot of yummy stuff. Carla Robinson is saying that Hayden mango. I think there may be a typo there. I think I know what you're saying. No, Yolande. You know what's so funny? You Jamaicans. Love ya. But it's not the Jamaican mango. Julie mango. There you go. You know what's so funny? So Maria's father-in-law, D.L. McFall, loves Julie mangoes. They're also known as Haitian mangoes. And I think that's what Carla was trying to say. Haitian mango. So you both have won. So just drop your information in my DM. This is comical now with these headsets. So here's the next question. Which country is most associated with the term Julie mango? So I'm just gonna, can you all hear that storm outside? Ooh-wee. I tell you, we live in Tampa now, And of course, Florida is known for their hurricanes. Tampa supposedly does not experience them because of where we're located. But I have been told if and when it hits here, it's nothing nice. I don't want to experience that. All right, so we have diced up our mango. And now we're gonna plate. I've got my ice cream scoop. This is frozen very nicely. Ooh, you all. You know what you probably want to do with this is get a cup of hot water that will help you. I mean, this is amazing. I'm gonna really enjoy this, folks. All right, so I've got 2 scoops of no churn mango ice cream. I'm gonna put some of my diced mango on top. I've got some toasted and shredded coconut. I'm gonna sprinkle on it. And then put some mint on there, just to add some pretty. Okay, folk, it is 8:22 and you've got dessert. Take a look at this. Ah, I bet you a Jamaican person wrote that. You see that? Yummy. It's so funny. I'm switching cameras, and that is our no churn 3-ingredient mango ice cream. So as I said, you all, you can do this with any fruit you want. Just don't add extra liquid. If you use berries, make sure they're good and ripe. Put them in your blender, puree them. Cherries, pit them, put them in there. Oh my goodness. This headset is about to drive me to drink coconut water. There you go, folk. I am curious. I'm interested. I'm excited to see what you all do with it. You can decide to surprise your guests with ice cream. And when they walk through the door, you can whip this up. By the time the evening is over, they can have a lovely bowl of fresh, no, whole bunch of junk in it. You know exactly what's in it because you've made it. Ice cream. Well, simple and quick. Yes, simple and quick. Mango, some dairy-free heavy whipping cream, and some condensed coconut milk. And by the way, these are available at Sprouts, Whole Foods. I don't think this condensed coconut milk is at like Publix and Kroger's, but I have found it at Sprouts and Whole Foods. And you can also order it online. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to dig into this and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.